Why do I do this to myself? Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in, and welcome to another album review. And this time we've got a doozy. This is album number 3 by country music singer Kelsea Ballerini. This one is titled Kelsea, so it's a self-titled album. Followed to 2017's Unconditionally, an album that yielded a really big hit for her in Miss Me More, a song that to this day is always played on the radio, and even where I work it comes on all the time. I don't understand it, but anyway, she's got a brand new album, and I'm gonna preface my thoughts here. I'm gonna tear this thing apart. And a lot of these songs aren't very long. There isn't too big of a runtime here, so I was able to jot down some quick thoughts on all of them, and we'll talk about each one individually. So, starting off with the first song, "Overshare," which is the opening cut in this album. It's well written and sweet sounding enough. The chorus goes, "I overshare because I overcare about the person over there." Has a really nice, sweet sounding hook, and then you realize it's not Taylor Swift singing, even though it really sounds like it's Taylor Swift singing, which would make sense because it's well written and Taylor Swift is a good songwriter. But no, it's a replica and a copy trying to match her in every way, from the writing style, apparently, all the way to the tone of her voice. Almost every song on this album, Kelsea Ballerini sounds like a discount Walmart version of Taylor Swift. I know that they're friends and that Taylor Swift had a big impact on her, and that's great. And she's an influence on Kelsea Ballerini. That's great. Why the hell is she trying to imitate her in every single way? It's borderline plagiarism. This is the state of affairs with modern country music, where Dan and Shay is a discount Rascal Flatts, and now Kelsea Ballerini is a discount Taylor Swift, and then Club, the track right after, is this run-of-the-mill adult contemporary pulse that doesn't even match the lyrical content. Where it sounds like lyrically, this is just an example I'm using, a ripoff of like "Lonely Weekend" by Casey Musgraves, talking about how you'd rather stay home and not go out with friends on the weekend. It doesn't match the adult contemporary nightclub vibe. Where Kelsea again sounds like Taylor, and I already know it's going to happen again as I'm listening to it. "Homecoming Queen" is a pretty interesting subject matter. Despite the bland composition, it sounds pleasant enough. And Kelsea does probably sound the best here that she does anywhere else on the album. Speaking to young girls, adolescence, and insecurity, stuff like that. It's a relatively interesting subject matter in little snippets throughout the album. "The Other Girl" featuring Halsey, she redeems it because it definitely fits her. And despite how poppy and modern this album is, this song still manages to be kind of jarring in comparison to some of the other soundscapes here. This one is just overtly pop, and when Kelsea takes her turn behind the microphone, she just fumbles it. And then "Love Me Like a Girl" is just this bland vanilla composition where non-cynical listeners, who are maybe younger female listeners, again, not trying to pigeonhole you or stereotype you, but you folks will eat this one up. Kelsea sings of wishing her boyfriend would connect and relate to her the way other girls do. Another nominally interesting idea to tackle, but bogged down by this lifeless, bland derivative composition. Walmart background noise with a repetitive chorus lyrically. "Love and Hate" is another Taylor Swift ripoff, which is a shame because Kelsea nailed it. She has a really good voice, and here she really utilized it, nailing the octaves and moving up and down the scales. She has a really good voice, but it sucks that her niche is being a copycat of an established artist. And then "Bragger" is just cringy. It's like a diet version of 1989 era Taylor Swift. Fits right into current radio fodder. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a single. "Hole in the Bottle," finally a touch of twang. If you can ignore the obvious pitfalls that I've gotten into several times up to this point, then it's not bad. Of course, there's still snap tracks, plenty of poppy flirtations here, but it's probably only the remotely neo-traditional country song on this album. And thank God the steel guitar comes in on the bridge to save this one because that was so much needed. "Half of My Hometown," we finally fall into the common trope of over-remembering where we came from, as if that hasn't been done 20,000 times before. Kenny Chesney is relegated to background vocals on the chorus, and it just adds nothing to it. "The Way I Used to," do I even have to say it? This time it's discount Lover era Taylor Swift, but with slight twang on the vocals and not as cheery, lush lyrical content. A country song. Did Megan Trainor write this one? Also in the second verse, "Really real. When my divorce got really real." Really real. Come on now. And then "L.A." I just can't. It's just so bland and boring. And along with "Needy," one of the another penultimate track on this album, this one just more background noise. I find myself trying to distract myself as I'm listening to it, and then I remember in the back of my mind, oh wait, you're trying to analyze these for a YouTube review. get out there to your less than 300 subscribers. What are you doing? And then I remember, I'm trying to keep that in the back of my mind, but it's like, this stuff just bores the shit out of me. And that's Kelsea Ballerini's third studio album. Just that's it. That's all it is. Bland, derivative, generic, vanilla stuff. You've heard it before, especially with the mimicking of Taylor Swift, all throughout this album. And it feels like it has to be intentional. Like it can't just be coincidence because almost every song on here just does that. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's inexplicable. And I don't know. This is Walmart background noise. And again, I'm not trying to stereotype people because music is subjective. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Whatever you love, that's great. I'm happy for you. But if you're a non-cynical listener like me and you eat up whatever the mainstream feeds you, then you're going to eat this shit up like it's candy. So, I mean, and I take no pleasure in saying this because she's a sweet girl and she's got a good voice. And up to this point, I really love what a lot of the women are doing in modern country, like Maren Morris and Kacey Musgraves, especially with Kacey Musgraves with Golden Hour. That album is a fucking masterpiece. Probably my favorite country album of all time from an artist not named Rascal Flatts. That album is just beautiful, so lush and so vibrant, and it makes you feel like life is worth living. And I love what a lot of the women are doing in country because what a lot of the men are doing, this shit sucks. And then Kelsea fits right in, just making this bland, simplistic, formulaic country pop garbage that's going in one ear, out the other. Hard pass on this one. I'm giving this a 1 out of 5. Do not check this out. If you do, and if you're forced to, like if you hear in the background at Walmart or on country or whatever, because I know there's going to be a lot of singles from this one that are going to chart their way up the country airplay and probably adult contemporary too, and up the Hot 100 and so forth. If you happen to hear this by chance, don't let it get to you the way I let it get to me. Just try to let it go in one or the other like it's supposed to. Until next time, take it easy. Oh wait, I'm so in a hurry to get this over with because I don't want to talk about this anymore that I almost forgot to do my outro. See how professional I am? Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Take care.